Hello guys, my name is Leftyy, and welcome to an episode of Leftyy's Rambling. I suppose I want this to be kind of like a chill podcast type of episode where you can just, put it in the back or just sit back, relax, grab some snacks and listen to me, just talking about Counter-Strike, about the newest things, the freshest things. So yeah, we had an animation system update. Ever since I made the hashtag unlock128 video, which is still valid, still, put the hashtag in your nickname. I also made some profile pictures, put them on, because that's what you actually can see when you play Faceit, like some fucking stack with those profile pictures, maybe somebody would get interested. Ever since the video, I was made aware by Cherry5, shout out to you, if you're listening, shout out to Cherry5, great guy, amazing guy. We had this animation system update to a new one called AnimGraph 2. So basically, like 300 days ago or something, like that's how long it took for them to actually make it and add it, and not even fully add it. We have the new animation system, which was supposed to reduce bandwidth usage, and they only implemented it to the fucking first-person animations, supposedly. So I suppose there's still not much difference in the bandwidth usage, although the fucking animations have changed. So I am not sure. As you can see probably on the screen, the fucking twitches of the hands and shit are different. A bit more normal, a bit less fucking twitch when you shoot somebody. But they didn't say it. They just did it behind the scenes. So we don't know still if the third person animations are I suppose unchanged, except the fucking, the hand twitch and shit, the body twitch. But, they changed the first person animations, but, they still haven't, remade them or optimized them, I suppose, which was supposed to decrease picker's advantage. So, that's kind of fucking weird. And well, I'm waiting for some tests, for somebody to check, the bandwidth usage, before and after or something, but, there's nothing yet, so, for now we don't know. And, hashtag unlock128 tick is still valid, because if you the big problem is supposedly that the ticks weigh even at times twice the packets. I mean, the packets weigh at times even twice as much as they did before in CS:GO. So it would be a hell of a fucking load on the servers and on the computers, I suppose, to introduce 128 tick. But if you optimize the animation system so the ticks aren't that big as they are now, I suppose, still, it's a perfect opportunity to give us 128 tick, especially, since the game is fixed. The game is completely fixed. Also, shout out to Bird, a great guy. He knows he's a computer scientist or whatever, a smart guy. And he's also talking about 128 tick, and that is probably the only way to, actually cut the delay, improve the game. And obviously it is the only way to get back to what we had, of course. So, another thing we had is there were some issues on the CCT tournaments. There was a team called Senza, or they had one more name, which I don't remember, but you will have it on the screen. Rosie, I think, yeah, Rosie it was. And they are blatantly cheating in CCT and shit. And you have good teams like Sinners, or even our Polish team, which won Philadelphia recently, which is, Kolesie. They had to fucking play against cheaters. And I suppose because before CCT used to shadow ban people, however they fucking wanted, and basically prevented good people even from ranking up and getting the fucking points. But now, since there's VRS bullshit, I don't think you can just exclude teams however you want. So you have basically cheaters in fucking CCT tournaments, and they can't do shit. They can't do fucking shit, and it's crazy. And I don't know, there was so much fucking talk on Twitter. It was a fucking big ass drama. A lot of important people, coaches, analysts, influencers, fucking Glaive and shit. People were talking about it, but Valve doesn't do shit. And I'm they definitely saw this. I mean, maybe they didn't, but I don't like the fact that we just pretend that there that there is not a problem, that it is not a fucking problem. And we will get onto the cheating in a while. But I also want to talk about Season 3, since it's also a kind of fresh thing. It's been a couple weeks, I suppose, but it's still new. They removed Anubis and added back Overpass, and I must say that before, Anubis used to be my best map where I would frag out, and I would it helped me greatly in my solo queue win streak to level 10. But you know, now I am bad and I got kind of stale at Anubis, and I would suck. So I'm kind of happy, I suppose, that I changed it. But they changed it to Overpass, and I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, I've been playing Overpass recently, especially on Premiere, and you know, it wasn't a fun time usually. Like, I don't know, the map is hard, it's complicated, which I like, because you know, when you can play those simple four-square design maps like Mirage or Dust all the time, like, you know, or like Ancient, like, you know, you want a fucking break. But yeah, I don't know if I am that happy. Like, you know, before the update on the night, I remember I was like going back from the gym with my fucking bro on the train, and we was talking, like, you know, we were hoping for fucking cash, I suppose, since, you know, it was finished and they bought the rights. But as we all know, Valve is working on their own remake of Cash, with like probably some new fancy ass effects, so we're gonna have to wait a while for that. Also, you know, they fucking nerfed the MP9, and for me it's funny, like, because, you know, they can't fix the picker's advantage and, you know, like the fucking movement of the legs and shit. So they nerf the fucking ground gun weapons, you know what I mean? Like, they can't fix the game, so they just nerf the weapon, and like the nerf is like, it doesn't change much. I mean, it's kind of annoying at times, but it doesn't change much really. And they of course buffed the city molly, which, like, I think it's a good change, because, you know, like, you could run through it and you could do a lot of shenanigans, and now the molly is actually useful. I mean, it's still kind of trash, but at least it's, you know, a bit more useful. Also, you have plus $50 per kill on the C side, which you already know. I think it's a good change, you know, maybe it's gonna save you from playing two ecos sometimes, you know. Like, it's nice, you know, you win the pistol 5k, you already have something in the bank, you know. I suppose it also encourages you to, you know, chase the saving people. I think it's a generally good change. Hey, this could be your advertisement. It doesn't even have to be a sponsorship per se. If you have like anything cool Counter-Strike related which you want to promote, even for free, if I find it cool, just like hit me up on leftybusiness@proton.me, and, you know, send me the details. I will put it in the next video. And of course, if you have some like sponsorship offers, of course, like, I am also interested in those. But, like, you know, just hit me up in general. I can advertise your things. That's leftybusiness@proton.me. leftybusiness@proton.me. Thanks for listening. So another thing I want to talk about is a new community Overwatch sort of thing. It's called expose.gg. I think it's really cool. Like, pretty much you just go onto the website, you log in, you need to have, of course, some hours on your Steam account. It cannot be empty, and you have up to 5 cases daily. You have like those beautiful rendered videos, rendered demos, I suppose, you know, of the matches, and you can make the decision if the guy is cheating, or like maybe cheating or not cheating. So I suppose, you know, you have one more option than on the CSGO Overwatch, but yeah. And I suppose, I don't know, I hope somehow maybe Valve, you know, gets to it. I don't know, I hope maybe the guy sends the, like, you know, confirmed cheaters to Valve. That would be very cool if Valve got involved and actually used the shit. But even if they don't, like, I recommend doing that. You know, we are just collecting, I suppose, a database of cheaters. So maybe Valve at some point can, you know, hit up the developer and actually make use of it. So, well, I wanted to have a section of complaining, so I suppose here it comes, like an actual fully fledged section made for complaining. And, you know, first of all, you know, the animation system, I suppose it is updated, because, you know, when I was writing like ideas for this video, like that was one of my points, that it is not updated. But, like, you know, they only changed the first person animations. They haven't, like, I suppose, updated/fixed the third person ones, you know, when you actually get picked and fucking swinged and one tapped and you fucking are annoyed because you died behind the wall or something, you know, like, that's still not adjusted, I suppose. So we still have to wait for the beautiful Valve guys. You know, at least now it's 20 guys. Like, there was some info that, like, for most of CS2's existence, there was only 5 guys working on the game, and like that they pretty much like released CS2 by accident. Like, there was some incident which forced them to release the game quicker. That's you know, that's fucking funny. That's like, I mean, that's not funny. That's fucking tragic. You know, like, that's fucking horrendous. But, like, it is what we have, I suppose. But yeah, so we are still waiting on the third person animations, and, you know, there was like this also acknowledged bug of some movement height inconsistency. Like, supposedly it was like the calculations weren't frame independent. So yeah, like, literally, like, if you had bad FPS, like, you would move inconsistently. That's like fucked up in my opinion. And I think to myself, maybe that would fix the bug. Like, when back in CSGO, there was like a clip. There was like a lot of clips. I'm pretty sure. Maybe I will find them and put them here. Jamie put them here. I mean, I have no Jamie, I am solo here, but like there was like a clip when you move on a ramp, like up and down. In CSGO, it would be a perfectly straight line. Like your crosshair would move in a perfectly straight line. And in CS2, your crosshair makes like circles, you know, like it makes it harder to aim pretty much if you're like going up a ramp. And you know, especially on new maps which aren't like very flat, that like could definitely fuck up your aim, and I hope they fix that as soon as possible. And well, you know, I played some Premier on Season 3, and on Season 2 as well I had to grind for the badge, because I didn't have 25 wins. Actually, you know, like at the start of Season 3 Premier, and like freshly when they made the animation update, the cheats weren't updated, so it was pretty fucking nice to play like Premier. I got like to 24k, I had like 30 wins, like I was pretty much winning game after game, game after game. But nowadays when I'm playing, like I had a fucking 5 loss streak, you know, and I watched the demo, the guy's an idiot and he's doing fucking shady stuff, random headshots, like you know how it is, guys. If you play Premier, you know how it is. So like, you know, it is still a problem, and it's still a shame, you know. Like I think the solution to this, like, you know, since Valve is like very freedom, they don't want to make a kernel anti-cheat, they don't want to, you know, be invasive. Also, they like Linux and like they could just bring back Overwatch. They could bring back Overwatch, or like I would even like make it a big thing and like pay people. I mean, I suppose there is like, they said that there is Overwatch for like trusted partners, but like invest into that, like pay off some moderators, give them fucking minimum wage, let them can sit for 8 hours and review cases, and maybe like above minimum wage, and you know, if they perform well, you give them more money. Like I don't know, you're a fucking big company, you can afford to have moderators for your fucking game. Like well, also Valorant got ported to Unreal Engine 5, and the funny thing is that the game actually runs better. They updated the game to a new engine, and it fucking runs better. So like, you know, Valve, take fucking notes. I mean, I suppose Valorant didn't get like a big graphical improvement, big graphical leap as we did, but like you know, it shows like you know, it shows like how you should do it properly in the industry, you know what I mean? Like that's what we should do instead of this bullshit when you have a new game and it's broken and unoptimized. Also, one more thing that they added is trade protection. You know, you can reverse now trades for like 7 days, and I think it's a good thing. Like if you get your account stolen, you can, like, you know, still fix the things yourself if you're quick enough. I mean, 7 days is a lot of time, so that's pretty cool. I mean, unfortunately it will slow down trading sites, but I suppose the trading sites have already dealt with this, so yeah, I think it's a cool change in general. Now let's get to some clips, a little section of clips.
2024 was an absolute disaster. After they purchased
unless he
Mało jest, nie mogli wbić, one odpadają na kwalach. No i AWP.
Kurwa, no mnie dzigluje i mi daje heada z jakiegoś pistoleta, no.
So, well, to conclude, you know, we still don't have 128 tick. The animation system is like semi-optimized. They put it onto the first-person animations and the third-person ones, which was supposed to change something, fix something, I suppose. I think they should focus on optimization in general, like, you know, like improving the netcode, like the animations, like, you know, I am waiting for that. I am eagerly waiting for that, as I suppose many of you are. And, you know, when the game is optimized, like, I think the logical step is to give us 128 tick. Like, there's really no reason to keep us locked to this fucking tick rate, which is inferior to what we had back in CSGO. And well, like and subscribe, guys, comment, you know, give suggestions on what I should talk about in the next one, and see you in the next one, of course. Like and subscribe. Leftyy out.